Okay, as the thumbnail predicts, I'm going to talk about Nick Trigilio. This guy has a lot of sources, and people call him doctoring now when it comes to any kind of post he talks about. He's saying Iain and Hunter potentially have nerve damage in their back as well. So keep that in mind. Let's see if that is true. A lot of his sources are pretty correct, so I'm not going to rule him out. But I do think he's got some kind of vendetta against Iain. He always seems to talk poorly about him. Iain's also a very outspoken man who gets a lot of attention, so it makes sense why he does that, just from that perspective. So this time around, here he is calling out Iain Valliere, calling him amateur at posing.
Unable to perform. They were missing poses, they were nervous, they were hesitating, they were shaking, and they looked like amateurs on stage posing. Iain, every single episode, was talking about how much bigger, how much better he is. He's going to take out Hottie. He's going to take out Nick. He's taking out everyone. He could beat maybe even Big Romney. I don't know if he said that, but he was very confident in his physique. And he was very specifically talking about his back as well. Even the guys on the show were saying, wow, your back is so much bigger and better. Well, what happened then?
Okay, so there you have it. Shots fired at Iain. Nothing new for Iain, I'm sure. However, at the same time, it probably gets a little annoying, the fact that he's talked about him, not being the best. And Iain even said something was off. Nick Trigilio also was the one who talks later on, talked about the bicep after my video. I also thought it could be site injection. Like I said, it could be a partial tear, low bicep tear, some kind of, for sure there's inflammation going on there. I wouldn't be surprised if it was site injection, because it actually made it look bigger, but it did blur some lines. So maybe it was just too soon, but it could also be an injury. So I have here, if you guys follow Greg Doucette, the parrot from Aladdin, Iago.
Before you watch this freaking video, like it! Like the button right now! Said I'm a doctor? I keep saying I'm not a doctor. DEXA scans are not accurate. This is the holy grail of bodybuilding.
He also kind of gives his 2 cents, and it seems like we're on the same page. I thought it was pretty cool.
Chris's arm is clearly swollen. There's a lot of redness, some discoloration. That is exactly what would happen if you were to experience a partial bicep tear. Or it could be a bad injection. If you are injecting into the biceps, most bodybuilders are shooting the glutes, the delts, the quads, the lats, everywhere. And oftentimes the biceps. And so it certainly could be something like synthol or hyaluronic acid, something you inject into the arm, shoulders, and so on to make them appear larger. And so don't be shocked if your favorite superstar is injecting something into their arms to make it appear a little bit larger.
And then you have here a few interesting clips from Chris Bumstead wanting to hide his bicep. Here's just a quick clip. I just thought it was interesting. So there's definitely something going on, enough for him to want to hide it on a live.
On live.
On live?
Yeah.
And then we have some talk. So post-Olympia talk, we have Samson. They're calling him and Andrew Jack the next Ronnie Coleman's, potentially. Just because of their ability to, they didn't do so great in the beginning, but they've definitely have gotten better and better. Samson, from 7 months to the next, has completely changed, and so I can see Samson, if he gets in even drier, and he suffered a lot, like in the end, near like 2 weeks out, he was eating just like 3 eggs for part of his breakfast. One of the meals was just 3 eggs. Just terrible. That's just like straight proteins and fat. And anyways, is he gonna do the Arnold Classic? Here's his answer.
I am definitely doing the Arnold. I am most 100% doing the Arnold. I mean,
there's no break for Samson.
Oh no, but it's like before we even did this Olympia like 5 weeks ago, I was already like, yeah, I'm doing the Arnold. It wasn't even like an option. I'm like, I'm going to do the Arnold. So when the Olympia you kind of focus on Olympia and everything else, and when you kind of come there, as tired and exhausting and as bone breaking this was, I'm like, yeah, I still want the Arnold. And then placing where I place now, it makes me more hungry to do the Arnold.
Now Samson, here's a few shots of Samson next to the former Mr. Olympia reigning champ. You can see why he can potentially surpass him. He's newer to the sport. He's like 36 years old, and just with 8 years, he just became a pro. He definitely has potential to become the next Mr. Olympia. And then next you have there Nick Walker. he says he's not going to be doing the Arnold. This might change, but I don't think he's gonna go. If he said he's not gonna go, he's not gonna go. And then you have here, he's reigning Mr. Olympia of 2022. I admire the dude's ability to shred, because that is super hard. He's got some genetics. He's got the look, and obviously part of the reason why he won over Ramy is said here by head judge Steve, and so you can go ahead and read those statements there why Ramy did not win this time around. And then just something funny while I was looking through Instagram, I clicked on this thumbnail and I got this video. So you've been warned. There's some clickbait, Hottie doing some spread eagle weird shiza when I want to see his upper body. Regardless, the guy's physique is crazy, and that's why he won. You then have Cruzo. Cruzo, finally won against Iain. Now, there's a lot that could be said right there. Cruzo definitely could have had it, and Cruzo could have beaten Iain. So I think, it's kind of cool that Iain gave him a shout out, calling him a big guy. Iain does look more conditioned on some parts, but man, being a muscle competition, I can see how Cruzo could have won, could have taken that. So there's like some food for thought there. I know that might not be popular opinion, but there's that. Nick is just a freak on his own. He's a beast. And then also, just to finish off, just want to give a little shout out to Kamal, 212 weight class. Now this guy is he's next to Sean Clary on the left there. He's from Libya. He's called the Lion of Libya. So your Libyan, I guess, vampire. This guy never ages. He's at 104 years old right now, and he looks like this. No, he's like 54. It's just insane. A 54-year-old that looks like this. That's just amazing. Anyways, so there's my quick little update on everyone. Nick Trigilli, per always, just stirring the pot. This guy's always been doing that since Generation Iron days and before that. You guys can go ahead, give him all a follow. A lot of guys, someone I follow him on Instagram, get a lot of pictures from his buys and tries, so give him a follow. Nonetheless, even if I don't align with their perspectives, I still listen to them. I think it's good to have a better understanding of people's perspectives, especially when it comes to bodybuilding. Just kind of going to Rich Gaspari made a post recently about the old bodybuilders' backs versus the newer ones from the Olympia stages. Now he's got a point. It's a good point, so I don't think everyone should go at arms and try to kill him. But nonetheless, there's your bodybuilding update. I think Chris Bump said might have gotten a side injection to help increase the size, which it did. It also blurred some lines, or he did potentially do a small micro tear, which it looks like he could have, because he's on gear, he's cutting, and you match all that together, and he's already torn a quad and hammy. The dude is potentially susceptible to tearing a lot of tendons, and everyone is when you're doing all those things, when you're super lean and when you're on steroids. So the muscles grow faster than the tendons and ligaments, so they're just more likely to snap. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy. Hope everyone has a good Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll have more news coming out here very shortly. And as always,